Commander Adeoti. You are most welcome, sir. I'm just writing something. We also announce the presence in our midst of the Chief Executive Officer, the Miller Farm Limited, ably represented by Mr. Olorogu Michael. You are most welcome, sir.
look for Oga Echo quickly. Oga want to see you. Oga Echo, okay. Quickly. Very senior officers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to Buhari Hall, venue for this very auspicious occasion. Please permit me to inform us that in our midst this morning we have the presence of a former commandant of this very prestigious center, Vice Marshal M.A. Akinsomi, retired. You're welcome, sir. While we await the arrival of other dignitaries, please permit me at this moment to take us through a brief history of this great institution. Very senior officers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, the then British colonial government, under the auspices of the West African Frontier Force, established 2 vocational centers in Nigeria and Ghana after World War II in 1945. The centers were mandated to impart relevant skills to meet the resettlement needs of the ex-combatants of the war in Nigeria and in Ghana, respectively. However, by the end of the Nigerian Civil War in 1970, the mandate of the Nigerian Vocational Resettlement Center was redefined to meet the urgent need for rehabilitating the wounded soldiers of the Civil War. Thus, the center became an army establishment and was accordingly renamed the Nigerian Army Rehabilitation Center. In the early 1980s, it became necessary to review the mandate of the center when visually all the wounded soldiers have been rehabilitated. Accordingly, with the introduction of the Defense Headquarters concept in the Nigerian Armed Forces, the center was redesigned as the Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, abbreviated NAFRC. The center has since then come a long way from being a pure rehabilitation center for wounded soldiers to a resettlement center equipped with vocational trade and skills acquisition facilities. Please permit me to also inform us that in our midst today, we have the presence of the Director of Administration, Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, Commodore R.T. Ojo. We also have in our midst the presence of the Director of the band. Please give us some melody while we await the arrival of other dignitaries. Distinguished invited guests, senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, we also have in our midst today the presence of the Director, Innovations and Concept Development, Naval Headquarters, Abuja, Rear Admiral D.F. Matthew. You're welcome, sir. No, and I.
What's the list here now?
Where? No, look at this one. Distinguished invited guests, senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to inform us that amongst us here today, we have the presence of the Commander, 9th Brigade, Brigadier General A.J. Edet. We also have the presence of the Commander 041 Communication Depot, Nigerian Air Force, Shasha, Air Commodore A.I. Hanidu. We also have amongst us this morning the presence of the Corps Commander, Nigerian Army Education Corps, Major General D.A. Tozu. You're welcome, sir. All of them mix up. All of them. We also have amongst us this morning the presence of Air Commodore O.A. Oyenami, the Commander 631 Aircraft Maintenance Depot. You're welcome, sir. We also have the presence of Commodore M.Y. Dahiru, the Commander NNS Way. You're welcome, sir. The Commander 015 SIG, Group Captain Ikunayo. You're welcome, sir. May I also recognize the presence amongst us of the Commander National Air Defense Corps, Air Vice Marshal N.K. Kumzi. You are welcome, sir. The Commander 661 NAF Hospital Ikeja, Group Captain M. Mohammed. You're welcome, sir. Continue with the history. Continue. You know, say I'm not finished. I will share and show that one part you go take one part. For the 220. Now your part will take one. Yes, I don't finish my own part. Now your part can continue. Check and see. I don't read them. I don't go through. You are done with this list. Recognize the organ and case. So we won't be using this one again.
The following senior citizens are to meet with the Director of Training now. MWO Raji Adebayo, MWO Ode Bisong, MWO Abel Jasa Keke. Please, you are to meet with the DOT now. Meet the Commanding Officer Trainees Battalion, please, now.
Distinguished invited guests, senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, as we await the arrival of other dignitaries, please permit me to hint us on a new NAFRC as a monumental paradigm shift in infrastructural development. Innovation has always been a driving force behind progress and transformation in any organization. This was achieved in the Armed Forces Resettlement Center through the visionary leadership of Air Vice Marshal CAO, who emerged as a catalyst for a monumental paradigm shift in the center. His relentless pursuit of innovation and ability to envision a new era for the center has sparked a transformative wave that has reshaped NAFRC into its present state. Under his leadership, the institution experienced a positive change in capacity and infrastructural development when new structures were built, existing structures and facilities were remodeled or given a facelift to facilitate an environment conducive for learning and growth. The goal was to revamp the center's infrastructure, modernize the facilities, and incorporate cutting-edge technologies to enhance overall working performance. Furthermore, lecture halls are equipped with the latest audio-visual technology and industrial air conditioners. Others are CCTV upgrade, energy efficient, and solar lighting and improved water reticulation, which has impacted greatly in the environment. Evidently, the remodeling of the NAFRC headquarters with state-of-the-art structure designed to meet the highest standard has improved the aesthetic, safety management, as well as promote a much better conducive working environment. Additionally, NAFRC headquarters parade ground was upgraded to a standard befitting of a military training institution, fostering regimentation. Significantly, the welfare of personnel performing guard duties were of paramount importance to the Commandant, as he has affirmed it through the restructure of guard posts at Charity Gate and the exit gate at 1 and 2 by Firu and Psychiatry Gates respectively. This ensures that personnel were adequately catered for while carrying out their routine guard duties. Taking cognizance of increased number of retiring personnel sent to the center, the Commandant embarked on the construction of additional trainees company lines. This gesture is geared towards providing trainees with sufficient and befitting accommodation to enhance their living condition in the center. Having served the nation diligently for 35 years, the position to encourage business and entrepreneurship, and the need to showcase made in NAFRC product was not left out. This was to enable increased patronage of the in-house products. In furtherance, the NAFRICOA, that is the Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center Officers' Wife Association, constructed a block of 4 shops at Amina Dupe Ibrahim Shopping Complex to display NAFRC products. This would afford NAFRC community the ease of doing business and increase internally generated revenue. In line with the mandate of NAFRC to prepare retiring personnel of the Nigerian Armed Forces with relevant traits and vocational skills to enable them integrate into the civil society and enjoy productive post-service life, the need for improved training aids cannot be overemphasized. The Commandant Air Vice Marshal CAO understand the importance of training made provision for state-of-the-art equipment for practical skill development in the workshops with advanced machines, tools, and computers. These have enabled trainees to gain hands-on experience in their respective fields, bridging the gap between theory and practical. Additionally, it allows trainees explore emerging technologies and acquire relevant skills that align with industry demands. The provision of modern facilities and equipment has had a profound impact on the quality of training given to the trainees by the center. Trainees now have access to the tools and resources necessary to excel in their chosen fields, which also aid development of practical skills, experiment with the cutting-edge technologies, and collaborate with peers, resulting in a more holistic and industry-relevant learning experience. Please permit me to announce that amongst us is the Director of Training, Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, Brigadier General H.M. Bello. You're welcome, sir. May I announce the presence amongst us of the Divisional Police Officer, Oshodi Solo, Chief Superintendent of Police, Adekunle Ajisebutu. You're welcome, sir. No, start from, let me just, yes, sir. You can start from here. Start from here. That is why I'm separating. Then this.
Very senior officers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. While we await the arrival of other dignitaries, permit me to acquaint you with the program of event for this occasion. The program of event for this occasion is on page 6 of the graduation program being handed out by the ushers. For the benefit of those who may not have the program, permit me to acquaint you that we are presently on item 3 of the graduation program, which is the arrival of very senior officers and distinguished invited guests, just as we are witnessing at the moment. This will continue up till item 10 on the program of events. On item 11 is the arrival of the guest of honor. On this arrival, the guest of honor would inspect the quarter guard at Charity Gate before proceeding to this venue. Thereafter, they will be safety briefed on this venue by the safety officer. This will be followed by a welcome address by the Commandant, Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, Air Vice Marshal Charles Akpocha Owu, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic. After which, the Director of Training will deliver the course highlights before the conferment of graduation oath by the Commandant on the graduating trainees of Course 1 2023 and participants of Senior and Mid-Level Officers Entrepreneurship and Management Course 9 2023. On item 17 on the program of events is the presentation of award to deserving trainees and participants before the guest of honor would deliver his graduation address. Immediately after the guest of honor's address, the commandant will make a token presentation of gift to our esteemed guest and thereafter to the guest of honor before the vote of thanks by the deputy commandant. This will then be followed by a group photograph at the NAFRC photo stand just opposite this hall. Please be informed that at the end of the group photograph, all directors and selected esteemed guests will be requested to accompany the guest of honor and the commandant to the exhibition arena where made in NAFRC products would be on display. At the end of the exhibition, the guest of honor would then proceed to commission some landmark projects carried out under the administration of the present Commandant, Air Vice Marshal Charles Apocha O, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic. May I have the honor and privilege to announce the presence now amidst of the Commander, 643 Equipment Supply Depot, Air Commodore A.A. Sambo. You are most welcome, sir. Who is that again?
Bands, please give us some light music. Thank you.
Distinguished invited guests, senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to announce the presence amongst us today of the representative of the ambassador of the Republic of Liberia, Chief Emeka Nzerem. You're welcome, sir. May I also recognize the presence amongst us today of a former commandant of this very prestigious center, Air Vice Marshal KG La retired, and also another former commandant of this very prestigious center, Air Vice Marshal M.R. Morgan retired. You're welcome, sir. ma. Welcome, ma. Welcome, ma.
So who is representing Chief of Army Staff?
Major General Lutu Musa. Chief of Army Staff.
Then we representing CAS.
No. CAS is the guest of honor.
So, because
The CNS now.
tags there on it.
Okay. Let's go. Let me go and see.
Hey, Pastor. How down?
Distinguished invited guests, senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to inform us that in our midst today, the presence of a former commandant of this very prestigious institution, Vice Marshal M.A. Idris, retired. May I also inform us that there is presence amongst us today of the Commandant of the Armed Forces Command and Staff Center, Vice Marshal Owona. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you, band. Thank you, band. Thank you very much, band. Very senior officers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Any moment from now, the guest of honor will arrive this venue, accompanied by the Commandant, Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, Air Vice Marshal CAO, Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic. You are please requested to rise as soon as the guest of honor enters the graduation hall. It is further requested that you remain standing while the guest of honor takes his seat. You are once again reminded to please switch off your mobile phone. Thank you very much.
Distinguished invited guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, while we await the arrival of the guest of honor, please permit me to give us a brief highlight of the organizational structure of the center. The center is organized into NAFRC headquarters, headed by an Air Vice Marshal as the Commandant. Please permit me to announce that in our presence we have the Managing Director, NAF Holdings Limited, Air Vice Marshal A.I. Dorotoye. You're welcome, sir. I may also quickly correct an earlier made announcement about the Commandant of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji. It is the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, Air Vice Marshal A.O. Wona. You're welcome, sir. The center is organized into the NAFRC headquarters, headed by an Air Vice Marshal as the Commandant. The Commandant is assisted by a Major General as the Deputy Commandant, and there are 5 directors who head the Directorate of Training, Administration, Logistics, Coordination, and Finance. It is important to state that there are 2 battalions in the organization of this center. These battalions are the Administration Battalion under the Directorate of Administration and the Trainees Battalion under the Directorate of Training. The Trainees Battalion is responsible for the welfare and the administration of trainees. Also, the center has various workshops where trainees are engaged in practical sessions. These workshops are headed by officers appointed as the commanding officers, while selected civilians are appointed as the heads of departments. Ladies and gentlemen, please sit back, relax, and enjoy a sweet melody from NAFRC Band. NAFRC Band, please. Please permit me. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished invited guests. Please allow me to inform us that amongst us today is also a former commandant of this prestigious center and presently the Director of Strategy, Defense Headquarters, Vice Marshal A.S. Liman. You're welcome, sir. May I also announce the arrival of the General Officer Commanding 81 Division, Major General O.C. Ajunwa. You are welcome, sir. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to also inform us that amongst us today is a director in ENTREPRENEURSHIP, and he is representing the country rep of ENTREPRENEURSHIP, Dr. Dukonari. He is Dr. Lemi Omoyemi. You're welcome, sir. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to inform us that amongst us today is also the representative of the Chief of Defense Intelligence, Brigadier General A. Adekola. You are welcome, sir.
Very senior officers, Distinguished invited guests. Guest of honor has just arrived at the center and has just concluded inspecting the quarter guard. Any moment from now, the special guest of honor would be in this venue. Please be reminded that we are all expected to rise as soon as the special guest of honor enters the hall. Thank you, sir. Bands, please.
Adjust the tail, move to the next. When you tail, you move to the next seat. If they move to the next seat.
Sir, permit me to announce the arrival of the coordinator, Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center Officers' Wives Association, Chief Mrs. Jumai Owo. You're most welcome, ma. He's meeting.
They said he's not staying in the guest room, that he's coming in straight.
Very senior officers, distinguished invited guests, it is my singular honor to announce the arrival of the special guest of honor, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Isiaka Amaro, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic. Thank you, sir. We may please be seated. The special guest of honor, sir, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Isiaka Oladayo Amao, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, His Excellency, the Republic of Liberia's Ambassador to Nigeria, Professor Al-Hassan Conte, ably represented by Chief Emeka Nzeruim, Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Efi Haya, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, ably represented by Major General U.T. Musa, Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral A.Z. Gambo, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, ably represented by Rear Admiral A.N. Ayafa, General, Flag, and Air Officers Commanding here present, the Coordinator, Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center Officers' Wives Association, Chief Mrs. Jumai Owo, and other Officers' Wives Association here present, Commandants and Commanders of military and paramilitary formations here present, the Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service, Hamid Ibrahim Ali, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, ably represented by Assistant Controller General Festus Okun, the Commissioner of Police Lagos State Idowu Owonwa, ably represented by Assistant Commissioner of Police Area D Command Abubakar Abdullahi Shika, the Director General Federal Institute of Industrial Research Oshodi, Dr. Jumai Adamu Tutua, ably represented by the Director Project Development and Design Department, Dr. Bola Asiru, the Director Demila Farms, Olorogun Michael Madugwe, graduating participants of the Senior and Mid-Level Officers Entrepreneurship and Management Course 9-2023, Trainees of NAFRC Course 1 2023, Royal Fathers here present, Captains of Industry, Gentlemen of the Press, Ladies and Gentlemen, I am Lieutenant Ime Fadoju, the Master of Ceremony for today's combined passing out ceremony in honor of disengaging trainees of Course 1 2023 and Senior and Mid-Level Officers Entrepreneurship and Management Course 9 2023. With me this morning are Squadron Leader O.C. Okbe and Lieutenant Commander Monday Obodo. It is my esteemed pleasure to once again, on behalf of the Commandant, Air Vice Marshal Charles Akochai Owo, Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, to welcome the guest of honor, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Isiaka Oladayo Amao, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, as well as all distinguished invited guests to the Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, Oshodi, venue for this auspicious occasion. As we proceed, I humbly implore all our distinguished invited guests to sit back and kindly listen to the safety brief for this venue to be delivered by the Safety Officer, Flying Officer Taiwo Adeniyi. The Safety Officer, please.
The special guest of honor, sir, permits me to observe the already established protocol. I am Flying Officer T. Adeni, the Safety Officer for the personal ceremony. I welcome you all to Buhari Hall, the venue for today's personal ceremony. Though all safety precautions have been taken, there is a need for this safety brief in case of an emergency. Exit route. There are 4 exits in this auditorium which will be used in the event of an emergency, marked exit 1, 2, 3, and 4. Exit 1. Exit 1 is located at the back of the special guest of honor seat. It is divided into doors A and B. In event of any emergency, the special guest of honor and other very important personalities on the stage will exit the auditorium through exit 1. Exit 2. Exit 2 is located to my right, which is the left side of the auditorium. In event of any emergency, participants of the senior and mid-level entrepreneurship management course, trainees seated to the left of the auditorium from the center aisle will exit the auditorium through exit 2. Exit 3. Exit 3 is located opposite the special guest of honor and at the back of the trainees. In the event of any emergency, the band crew, communication team, and every other guest seated behind the trainees will exit the auditorium through exit 3. Exit 4. Sir, exit 4 is located to my left, which is the right side of the auditorium. The trainees seated to the right of the auditorium from the center aisle, members of the POA, NAOA, NOAA, NAFOA, and NAFICOA, as well as the press, shall exit the auditorium through exit 4. Muster point. The special guest of honor, sir, as soon as we all exit this auditorium in the event of any emergency, we are to proceed to NAFRC photo stand, which is located opposite this hall. While alternative muster area is Air Marshal Isaka Mowo Sport Complex. Thereafter, NAFRC emergency team will take charge of the situation. While the program is in progress, should any of us have the need to use the restroom, we have conveniences at the left and right side of this auditorium for the trainees, while the special guests of honor and other very important personalities on the stage may use conveniences at the backstage that can be accessed through doors A and B. Our guests outside this auditorium are to use the convenience at the back of this auditorium close to Danjuma Hall. In case there is any need for medical assistance, the medical center ambulance is stationed in front of the auditorium with medical team. This brings me to the end of safety brief. Enjoy the rest of the ceremony, sir.
Thank you very much, Flying Officer T.A. Adeni, the Center Safety Officer. the guests of honor, sir, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Next on the program is the Commandant welcome address. At this point, please permit me to most respectfully invite the Commandant, Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, Air Vice Marshal Charles Akpochaye O, Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, to please deliver his welcome address. The Commandant, sir.
Our guest of honor this morning, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Shaka Alada Mao, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, distinguished flying star, His Excellency, the Republic of Liberia Ambassador to Nigeria, Professor Al-Hassan Conte, ably represented. Permit me, sir, to rest on already established protocol, sir. I'm particularly delighted to welcome you all to the Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, Oshodi, otherwise known as the home of courage and hope, and the citadel of excellence in vocational education and entrepreneurship training. Today, sir, is indeed a special day for all officers, servicemen and women, civilian staff, and the entire NAFRC community. It is the end of an era and the beginning of another for disengaging trainees of NAFRC Course 1/2023 who are honored by the esteemed presence of the Chief of the Air Staff, who is the guest of honor. Sir, we are honored to have you this morning as the guest of honor, sir. I wish to also welcome other guests and the ambassador ably represented, as well as other distinguished personalities that have acceded to our invitation to this graduation ceremony. Your presence here today is a clear testament of how dearly you hold this great center. The guests of honor, sir, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to reiterate the mandate of this center is to see to the successful training of retiring personnel of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria with relevant post-service skills commensurate with the present structure and demands of the wider society, civil society. Suffice to state that the realization of the center's mandate has been greatly been successful. From our records, over 50,000 personnel of the Armed Forces of Nigeria have been trained since inception of this center. We are happy to report that other stakeholders outside the military have also benefited from the capacity development program offered by this center. For the benefit of our invited guests, a NAFRC servicewomen course is traditionally for a period of 6 months. Accordingly, a robust and well-packaged training program has been specifically designed. During the course, trainees receive lectures from renowned resource persons and specialists on a broad range of topics, including entrepreneurship and general management, retirement planning, security and safety practice, as well as ICT, among others. These lectures are specifically designed to help them build up profitable post-retirement ventures towards self-sustenance and seamless integration into the civil society. For the disengaging trainees, you will recall that during your inauguration ceremony on 17th January 2023, I did say that the course is challenging but profitable. After 6 months and on completion of this course, I'm sure that each of you have obtained the necessary skill set to operate as effective entrepreneur, ready to explore and exploit the opportunities for profit making and income generation available in the open market. Meanwhile, in order to extend this training welfare to officers while staying in the service, the Defense Headquarters in its wisdom approved the conduct of senior officers and middle-level officers entrepreneurship and management workshop training in conjunction with Infrastructural Nigeria Foundation, a private sector initiative of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. The participants have the benefit to learn the rudiments of managing small and medium-scale enterprise while still in the service. This greatly shows the importance of the services attached to the welfare of serving officers and the desire for them to live a fulfilling life in retirement. Additionally, we have successfully conducted various vocational training for youth, especially in our immediate community, including members of the paramilitary, ministries, departments, and agencies of government. The latest of these numerous feats was the commencement of training for widows and orphans of deceased service personnel. The training given to them by this center has helped beneficiaries to be equipped with skills for self-sustenance and meaningful income while appreciating life with a positive mindset. This has empowered them to contribute meaningfully to their various societies, thus reducing the tendency towards crimes as well as other vices. Let me hasten to add, sir, that these laudable achievements we celebrate today are the result of visionary thinking of our founding fathers, the resolute commitment of past leaders of our armed forces, as well as the dedication and hard work of past commandants, officers, and men who have served in this center. I therefore want to specially salute this group of persons for laying this foundation. Can we please clap for them, please? Our gratitude will not be complete without acknowledging the support of the former President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, members of the 9th National Assembly, especially the Senate and House Committee Chairman on Defense, the Honorable Minister of Defense, the Chief of Defense Staff, and the service chiefs for their unflinching support to this center. The center has the capacity to optimally deliver on its core mandate of vocational training, not just for retiring personnel of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, but also for all Nigerians as well as West African sub-region. For instance, the center received a request through the Chief of Defense Staff for allotment of training slot to the Armed Forces of Liberia for training of its personnel. On this note, sir, I would humbly wish to inform the guests of honor that a senior non-commissioned officer from the Armed Forces of Liberia is among the graduates today, and he performed excellently well. So since I assumed command of this center in January, I have utilized the available human and infrastructural resources to add value towards transforming the NAFRC into a world-class center of excellence with international best practices in vocational training. At this junction, sir, may I humbly and respectfully crave the indulgence of the guests of honor to highlight some of these achievements made in the last 5 months. These include the upgrade of number of workshops by the provision of an installation of new equipment and machines, as well as refurbishing of old ones in order to avail the trainees the use of modern equipment method, as well as to add value to the workshops. Ensuring the security of the center by remodeling the 3 entrance gates of NAFRC, namely the Charity Gate, the Pharaoh Gate, and Psychiatric Hospital Gate for better protection and feeling of safety while they are here in the center. The provision of ultramodern cooling system for this hall that we are seated in today. I'm sure some of us are already feeling very cold. Facilitation of the completion of 2 by 57 rooms blocks of flats of trainees being constructed by Chief of the Army Staff, and 1 by 57 room block of flats ongoing being constructed by the Chief of Air Staff. Please, can we put our hands together? We also supervised and ensured the construction and completion of the 300 rooms accommodation for trainees. To add value, we remodeled NAFRC headquarters, we resurfaced the parade ground, and put some generators in the hall here, in the officers' mess and other places. Not to forget our assistance, both financial and moral, to the Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center Officers' Rights Association towards the construction of a block of shops for the benefit of their members and the community at large. So the center is also making progress in waste management wing. Armed with the necessary updates on the center's state of affairs with waste management and renewable energy renovations, while interfacing with development partners, namely the Circular Economy Innovation Partner, United Nations Industrial Development Organization, Investment and Technology Production Officers, and GIS, the German Corporation for International Cooperation, with the following clearly stated objectives and goals: improve on NAFRC green culture impact on trainees and ambience of the center via increased and unhindered flow of resources into the waste management and recycling wing. Extension of NAFRC green culture initiatives to our surrounding communities of Mushin, Mafuloku, Ajao Estates, and Ilikpeju. This CSR initiative has enabled NAFRC to promote clean and healthy environment in these communities, reducing the menace of plastic pollution and by extension, the threat of flooding to these communities. Development of a workable renewable energy plan to power NAFRC and improve the environment and health of residents. Sir, we are at the final stage of developing a waste management recycling renewable energy initiative programs. Furthermore, efforts on top gear to register NAFRC products with NAFDAC and the Standard Organization of Nigeria. These products include cosmetics, toiletries, hair products, NAFRC bread and confectionaries, and a wide range of other NAFRC products. The aim is to showcase the product as well as enable them to compete favorably in open market. This would encourage trainees to give out their best, seeing they are part and parcel of this awesome production project. May I at this point, sir, use this medium to congratulate the disengaging members of NAFRC course 1/2023 for their laudable achievement. You will agree with me that unlike all other courses you have attended while in the service, this one was specifically geared towards your personal self-development. Your successful completion of the course is a proof of your determination, commitment, and discipline in a number of years of your active military service to our dear nation. The training you have acquired in the last 6 months is to enable you to contribute positively to your various societies and thus helping to build a greater nation. As you graduate today, you have transformed from active military duty to the legend of veterans who will continue to make positive contributions to this country and beyond. Remember that you are ambassadors of this center. I therefore urge you to remain dedicated, disciplined, and maintain the highest level of integrity with which you have served this country over the years. Let me also acknowledge and thank especially all your family members for your love and support over the past years while you were in active duty for your fatherland. I urge you all to remain steadfast and unwavering in your love and support towards your breadwinners, even in retirement. For the officers in the senior and middle level entrepreneurship and management course, I acknowledge your commitment and achievement in the last 1 month. We are in no doubt that your newly acquired skills will be beneficial to you, both in your units, your formations, bases, as well as when you subsequently disengage and have to run your enterprise in post-service life. Finally, it is with delight that I once again welcome our guests of honor, your excellencies, our distinguished invited guests to this grand occasion. I invite you all to relax and enjoy the rest of the program lined up for today's personal ceremony. Thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. May I request we give the Commandant another resounding round of applause, please. The guest of honor, sir. The next item on the program is the course highlight. We cannot truly appreciate a course unless the content of the program is known. The guest of honor, sir, permit me to humbly request the Director of Training, Brigadier General H.M. Bello, to deliver the course highlights and thereafter conduct the presentation of certificates and awards to the graduating trainees and participants of senior and mid-level officers entrepreneurship and management course. The Director of Training, sir.
The special guest of honor, sir, Air Marshal I.O. Amao, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, the Chief of the Air Staff. Please permit me to stand on the already well-established protocol. On behalf of the Commandant, Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this unique occasion, being the combined graduation ceremony of participants of senior and mid-level officers, entrepreneurship and management course 923, and the passing out ceremony of trainees of Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, course 123. The special guest of honor, sir, the mid-level and senior level officers, entrepreneurship and management course 923, assembled on 16th May and 16th May and 6th June 23 respectively, and were inaugurated on 7 June 23. A total of 31 officers participated in the entrepreneurship and management course. The mid-level graduating participants comprise of 17 officers, which include 15 Nigerian Army officers and 2 Nigerian Navy officers, while the senior level graduating participants comprise of 9 Nigerian Army officers, 3 Nigerian Navy senior officers, and 2 Nigerian Air Force senior officers. Similarly, the trainees of Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center course 123 assembled on 6 January 23 with a total strength of 757 service personnel. This was made up of 599 personnel of the Nigerian Nigerian Army, 115 personnel of the Nigerian Navy, and 42 personnel of the Nigerian Air Force, with an allied personnel from the Republic of Liberia. However, 25 Nigerian Army personnel and 2 Nigerian Navy personnel were returned to unit on medical grounds, while 2 trainees of Nigerian Army died during the course. Additionally, 7 Nigerian Army warrant officers were documented here in NAFRC and sent to Songhai Farm in Benin Republic for their pre-retirement training. Today, sir, we are proud to present to you a total of 31 graduating participants of senior and mid-level officers entrepreneurship and management course 923 and 718 trainees of Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center course 123 who have successfully met all the requirements for the award of ENTREPRENEURSHIP Foundation and Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center certificates respectively. The special guest of honor, sir, I'm glad to report that the participants of senior and mid-level officers entrepreneurship and management course went through both theoretical and practical training on all 4 modules of the course. These modules include entrepreneurship and business planning, fundamentals of business law and taxation, as well as supply chain management and marketing. The modules introduce the participants to entrepreneurship and business planning concepts, behavioral practices of successful entrepreneurs, and regulatory issues to enable them to set up as well as successfully run a business. In addition to this, the participants went on a business trip to a privately owned company within Lagos area where they interacted with a successful entrepreneur, and in order to benefit from his experience as well as for mentorship. The participants also benefited from a 3-day study tour to Songhai Farm in Benin Republic, where they were introduced to current trends in modern agricultural value chain and integrated farming. The knowledge acquired on this course could, if properly applied, enable the participants to successfully run private businesses on their retirement from the service. The special guest of honor, sir, on the resumption of Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center course 123 in January this year, the trainees went through thorough documentation and medical examinations. Thereafter, they were oriented to various departments and workshops within the center in what we usually refer to as workshop selling. The aim of the workshop selling is to enlighten the trainees on an available workshop in the center, as well as encourage them to sign up for a particular workshop of their interest. Available workshops which trainees may enroll within the center are auto mechanic workshop, welding workshop, soap and cosmetic workshop, fine arts, ceramics, photography workshops, leather works workshop, as well as information technology. The trainees were also trained in tailoring, plumbing, music, refrigeration and air conditioning, barbing, hairdressing, agricultural management, security and safety management and practices, amongst others. After selecting individual workshops of interest, trainees were subsequently loaded into various workshops of their choice and undertook detailed studies in aspects of their selected trades. In addition to the training received in their various workshops and departments, all the trainees undertook compulsory studies in entrepreneurship and management studies. This was designed to equip them with essential skills to successfully manage their personal businesses after retirement. Having participated actively in instructional and practical training for the first 4 months, the trainees also underwent industrial attachment for a period of 6 weeks in various states within the Federation. It can therefore be said that these graduating trainees have fulfilled all the requirements to qualify them for graduation today. They are therefore adequately equipped to face the larger society and make positive contributions towards national economic development. Against this background, sir, it is my privilege to inform you that in line with federal government empowerment plan for retiring personnel of the Nigerian Armed Forces, these graduates have been trained and equipped with relevant skills and traits for a productive life in active service in the case of participants of senior and mid-level officers course and an economically viable life in retirement for the discharged trainees. In the light of the above, the special guest of honor, sir, I'm pleased to inform you that as part of the empowerment to trainees and encouragement to farming and general agricultural practices, a private individual, Mr. Yinka Omogoye, who is the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Domela Farms, located in Ogun State, has placed a cash prize of the sum of 500,000 naira only to the overall best trainees in agriculture. The amount is to be shared to 3 overall best trainees in agricultural wing. Thus, the first trainee in order of merit will take away the sum of 250,000 naira only. The second trainee in order of merit will go home with the sum of 150,000 naira, while the third trainee in order of merit will take away the sum of 100,000 naira only. The winners of this cash prize in order of merit are 79NA/28039 Master Warrant Officer Raji Adebayo, who scored 92%. Next is 79NA/28091 Master Warrant Officer Ode Bison. And the last but not the least, 79NA/2839 Master Warrant Officer Ebel Jasakeke. At this juncture, sir, the special guest of honor, please permit me to invite Mr. Yinka Omogoye, the Chief Executive Officer, Domela Farms, who is ably represented here by Olorogun Michael Madugbe, the Director of Domela Farms, to do this presentation. Mr. Olorogun. That's on new school. Yeah, I've invited you. That's Thank you so much. You may take your seat. Turn about. The special guest of honor, sir, on behalf of the Commandant and entire Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center community, I wish to advise the graduates to remain steadfast in their pursuit of excellence in all their future endeavors and to make service to humanity their guiding philosophy. Additionally, I urge you all to keep faith with the motto of this center, which is courage and hope. In everything you do, please let courage be your watchword while keeping your hopes alive. The special guests of honor, sir, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I, at this juncture, humbly and respectfully invite the Commandant to please confer certificates of course completion onto the participants of senior and mid-level officers, course 923, and the discharging trainees of Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, course 123, respectively. The confirmation of certificates will be in this manner. First, we'll start with confirmation of certificates to participants of senior officers, entrepreneurship and management course. This will be followed by the conferment of certificates to the officers of mid-level entrepreneurship and management course, and finally, conferment of certificates to trainees of Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, course 123. May the participants of senior officers, entrepreneurship and management course please rise up for conferment of certificate by the Commandant. The Commandant, sir.
By the powers conferred on me as the Commandant, Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, I, Air Vice Marshal Charles Akocha Owo, hereby confer unto you the certificate of completion of course. Congratulations.
Participants of senior course, you may please take your seat. May I crave the indulgence of the Commandant to please remain standing to administer the two oaths before taking your seat, sir. Next is the participants of the mid-level senior officers entrepreneurship and management course. May the participants of mid-level officers course please rise up for conferment of certificate by the Commandant.
By the powers conferred on me as the Commandant, Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, I, Air Vice Marshal Charles Akocha Owo, hereby confer on you certificate of completion of course. Congratulations.
The certificate, the participants may take their seat, please. Lastly, sir, but not the least, the conferment of certificates of course completion to trainees of Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, course 123. May the trainees of Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, course 123, please rise up for conferment.
By the powers conferred on me as the Commandant, Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, I, Air Vice Marshal Charles Akocha Owo, hereby confer unto you certificate of completion of course. Congratulations.
The Commandant, sir, may take your seat. You may take your seat, the trainees. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, shall we give another round sound of applause to the Commandant. Sir, next on this program is presentation of awards. With the kind permission of the special guest of honor, We'll proceed with the presentation of award to discharging trainees of Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center, Course 123. The special guest of honor, sir, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, the next item on this program is presentation of award to deserving trainees of NAFRC who distinguish themselves in various aspects of training. There are 5 categories of awards to be presented to these trainees. These are the Commandant's Award, the award for Best Female Trainee, the Allied Trainees Award, award for the Best Graduating Trainees from the 3 services, an award for the overall Best Graduating Trainee. The special guest of honor, sir. The first award to be presented this morning is the Commandant's Award. This award is presented to the trainee who distinguished himself in the area of discipline, military bearing, leadership, character, and turnout in and out of uniform. For course 123, this award goes to the course senior in person of 79 NA/27611, Master Warrant Officer Onuche Emmanuel of the Department of Security and Management. May I respectfully request the Commandant to please present this award to the deserving trainee. Thank you very much, sir. You may take your seat. The next award is the Best Graduating Female Trainee Award. This award is presented to the female trainee who distinguished herself in the field of studies and extracurricular activities. For NAFRC Course 123, this award goes to M5704F, AB Onyelu Charity Chinedu of Ceramic Workshop. May I humbly request the coordinator of NAFRICOA, who is equally the amiable wife of the Commandant, Chief Mrs. Jumai Owo, to please make this presentation. Thank you so much, Ma. You may please have your seat. Next is the Allied Trainees Award. The Allied Trainees Award is newly introduced to recognize the hard work, discipline, commitment, academic prowess, and excellent human relations displayed by the first Allied trainee to Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center. The award goes to none other than Master Sergeant Cho Daniel from the Republic of Liberia. To do us the honor of presenting this award, may I respectfully invite His Excellency, the Liberian Ambassador to Nigeria, Professor Alhassan Conte, here represented by Chief Emeka Nzurwem, to do this presentation. Sir, you may take your seat. The next awards are for the best graduating trainees from the 3 services. We shall begin these awards with the best graduating trainee from the Nigerian Army. This award is also known as the Chief of Army Staff's Award and is presented to Nigerian Army trainee who scored the highest marks among the Nigerian Army trainees in academics, workshop activities, general management, and extracurricular activities. For NAFRC, for Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center Course 1 2023,